Good afternoon and welcome to another Chef Knife Co. knife review. Today we are talking about Mundial. Mundial. I don't know how you say it, but it's Mundial. M-U-N-D-I-A-L. And specifically we are talking about a 7-piece set. Now this set I got a long time ago, so I wanted to talk about what it's like now. This is about 15 years later, so it's really interesting to see how they held up. So in the set we get an 8-inch chef knife, an 8-inch carving knife, a 6-inch utility knife, a 4-inch paring knife, a carving fork, and a bread knife. There were some kitchen shears, some kitchen scissors as well with it, but they've long gone missing. But let's talk about what we do have. So Mundial is a Brazilian company. Founded as Mundial in 2003, there were two actual companies that came together. I won't try to say their names because I can't pronounce them. One was established in 1896 and the other in 1931. And both of these companies came together. They were, I think, a scissor company and maybe beauty products, things like that. They came together and they created Mundial in 2003. It's a pretty unknown name. People who own Mundials really love them, but if you ask people to name the top 5 knife companies, they never really come up. They're good quality knives, but they are at a reasonably cheap price point compared to the big guys. So these chef knives, for instance, come in at about $89. Depends where you are in the world, and it depends which platform you're buying them from, but $89 for something like that is extremely good. So overall impressions, I have got a bunch of the different types of knives and all of them are really nice to use. They are not tinny or cheap in any way, and they've held up incredibly well over the time that I've had them. So if you can see this, look at the finish on that stainless steel after 15 years is exceptional. There are basically no blemishes, no marks. I think one of them, the bread knife here, not sure if you can see, there are some slight scratches. There's one just there, slight scratch on it. But apart from that, they're incredible nick on the blade. The handle is starting to do something a bit different. So see the pins here. Let's see if we can get focused on that. The pins are getting scuffed up and beaten up, and on some of the knives the pins, you probably won't be able to see this, they're recessing slowly. They're kind of pulling into, either the handle is puffing up or the pins themselves are recessing somehow. I don't know how, but it's an incredibly minor thing. There are no there's a very slight pulling away of the scales from the knife, but remember this is 15 years later, so the quality is quite amazing. These scales are still perfectly in line with the bolster, with the tang, and basically all of them, with the exception of the paring knife, which is coming away very slightly down here, are spot on. So the only sign of wear on these are the pins are getting scuffed up, and interestingly, it's hard to tell, but you can see that this part of the edge here is starting to be a little bit concave because we've sharpened it so much. We've used this knife so many times, so you can really see how much we've used them, but they hold up incredibly well. So from a longevity standpoint, these are fantastic knives. So the feel of these knives in your hand is really nice. It depends on which size. I'm not a big fan of the paring knife. I find the handle is a little bit of the wrong shape. I can't really explain it. But the bird's beak, I think you call it, down here doesn't fit in the hand like it does on the chef knife. You don't notice it so much on the chef's knife, especially when you're choked up like that. But on the paring knife, I find it kind of gets in the way a bit, so I think they should change the dynamics and the ergonomics on the paring knife. But the other knives are really nice. And these come in at a weight of, so the chef knife is 141 grams. It's a really nice weight. It's not too heavy, not too light. You can really enjoy cutting some heavy foods, but it doesn't get too onerous on your hands. So all in all, let's just talk about the chef's knife for now. It's a lovely weight. holds in the hand in a way that you're not going to get tired and is comfortable. The surfaces are reasonably well rounded. They could be a little bit more rounded, but it's really not a problem. You're not going to cut yourself on these surfaces. They are quite nice to hold. The weight is slightly back. I prefer to have the weight on the blade edge of the bolster. This is a little bit closer to the handle side of the bolster. So it's a little bit back heavy, but it's not too much of a big deal. In terms of the grip, the choking up on it is very comfortable. The way that the bolster transitions into the blade is really nice. And the shape of the handle, even though it's reasonably square around here, it's still pretty comfortable. So I'm happy with the way it feels in the hand. But for the hand feel and the ergonomics for these knives, they're really nice. So the style and design of these knives is very classic Western knife. To be honest, could be a Mundial, could be a number of any other Western style knives. So there's not a lot to really talk about apart from this. I keep calling it the bird's tooth or beak. I can't remember what this is called. I find it a little bit too harsh. It kind of comes down. Sometimes it can get in your way. Less so on the chef's knife, as I said, much more on the paring knife. And I also find it gets in the way a little bit on the utility knife. Apart from that, it is your classic full tang. So it's two scales, handle scales sandwiching the steel of the tang and the pins going through with the bolster. And yeah, I mean, I can't if you were to take a Mundial and a Wusthof or one of the other Western chef's knives, at a glance, you couldn't tell the difference straight away. The blade is interesting. It's very, as I said, we've kind of sharpened away this a little bit here more than usual, but it's less of a long sweep and it's slightly flatter down here towards the heel, and there's kind of got this high belly going on up this side of the towards the tip, which I find is quite nice. I mean, there's no reason some knives with a large belly, if you're doing camp cooking or something like that, getting a lot of really big rocking motion works, but this actually is a very nice, it gives you that opportunity to use rocking cuts, but also a lot of, if you're push cutting as you're coming down onto the flat of the board, it will cut quite a large piece of ingredient using the flat of the knife. So that's kind of handy as well. It just kind of differs a bit from the really long sweepy motion of a lot of the Western knives. So I think that's a bit of a bonus. So I haven't really talked about the bread knife at all. Nothing too unusual. It's a standard bread knife. What I find interesting though is the way that the handle just stops. On all of the others, obviously there's a bolster to start with, so they transition in. Whereas with the bread knife, it's pretty 90 degrees. I find it's a little bit sometimes catchy on your hand. Could have rounded it off a bit, but apart from that, it's a pretty standard bread knife. So the steel on these knives is it's called CRMO, stainless steel. I have trouble saying these words. Chromium molybdenum. Molybdenum. I think it's molybdenum. Anyway, chromium good for rust resistance, and molybdenum does the same thing essentially, but in a different way, but also adds to the tensile strength and the hardness of the steel. So it's a really good steel. It does have only a reasonably low carbon content at about 0.05, I believe. So that results in a knife that does need sharpening reasonably often, but in my experience, and that's the metallurgical explanation, but in my experience, I'm not actually sharpening these knives very much. As long as you use the honer quite a lot, I'm not sharpening these as much as I would have expected to from a low carbon content like that. So let's do some cutting, especially with the chef knife, and find out how they perform. Let's just double check with the trusty paper test. Nice and sharp. Let's go. Right, okay, so let's cut something. So we have some capsicum here. If we were to be trimming off these little bits, feels very easy to use. I think in terms of a paring knife, I'm finding this a little bit. I don't like the geometry of this paring knife very much. I just find it a little bit clumsy. I'm not entirely sure why that is. It just doesn't fit in my hand very well. And even though obviously it works nicely as a knife for this purpose, for me, I don't know, I'd prefer a Japanese knife for a paring knife. I don't like all the curves in a Western style paring knife. Much prefer a straight Japanese style. That said, it does the job, and it doesn't feel tinny or anything. It is a good knife. It just doesn't really suit my hand very much. So moving on to the chef knife. So what do we got? This is a nice sharp chef knife. If we're looking to do some nice long thin cuts, that works a treat. It's very nice. Just using the tip on that, even though it's a large knife, it still feels very easy to control. So that's a bonus. Now let's say something heavy like some butternut squash. Now if we're trying to get through that, just straight through the middle in one go, it's pretty good. I would actually prefer a heavier knife for that. I spoke about a Fury knife last time, which was amazing for this kind of work. Even though that wasn't too difficult, I think getting through there, even using right down on the heel here, you're still having to push through, and I think it's got quite a lot to do with the thickness of the spine. So the spine here is actually pretty thick, so you got to push through it quite a lot. Whereas if you had a thinner blade, even if it was a bit heavy, a bit lighter, a thinner blade would get through that nicer. But what if we wanted to do some slightly finer cutting on this piece of pumpkin? So if we're just trying to get through the thin pieces like so, that didn't have a problem at all. It was quite nice actually. I think the fact that we are getting the slices, you're not having the other side of the pumpkin pushing against you as you are when you're doing straight through the middle of something. Doing fine slices like this, even though once again this is quite a large knife, that really works nicely. There's no resistance at all, so that's nice. So let's try the carrot. Make myself a stable base, top and tail it. So just doing a pull cut through this, oh, it's like butter. That was beautiful. So another pull cut through that. Something to do with the fineness of the tip. It just slides through these ingredients. So even though there's a really large knife, tip work on this is very nice. So that's the pull cuts. What if we're doing a push cut through, say, something like this? Once again, very nice. In fact, let's try the rock cut through here. It's interesting. So the rock cut is less effective than the push, which is really easy, or even the pull, which is really easy. And just to finish off, let's try some fine dicing of this piece of carrot here. So let's get a nice little bit, just a couple of long strokes, and then let's just dice this finally. This is a terrible dice, but you get the point. We will just rock through this, and you can see no problem obviously creating small cubes of carrot with that. So my overall impression of these knives, I mean, I've been using them a long time, is that they are really solid knives. Would I recommend them? Yes, I would. They are very nice to use. They're at a really good price point, and they're solid. They're really sturdy. They're not tinny in any way, as I've said about 100 times. The set, though, would I buy the set? Probably not. The 7 set knives, the 7 knife set block I think is a bit too much. I don't like the utility knife that much. I don't really use the carving knife that much, and I would go with a totally different paring knife, not my favorite. The chef knife is awesome. I would absolutely buy that again. The bread knife is fantastic. There's nothing special about it, but there's nothing really to detract about it. I would probably, if I was to have the choice, buy something a little bit fancier next time. But if you're getting, say, a 3-knife set with a chef, a bread knife, and say some kitchen shears, 100%. I think this is a really good set. I highly recommend it. This is a great price point. It's a really good product. It feels nice in the hand. It cuts well. This has lasted me 15 years so far. Absolutely no problems whatsoever, and still almost looks like new. So I'd give it 2 very enthusiastic thumbs up. It's a great knife, Mundial.